The buzz around the Lakers front office is, to put it mildly, absolutely insane right now. As a die-hard Lakers fan living and breathing this stuff, you can feel the energy shifting. We're coming off a solid season, with Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis proving they can be a championship-level duo. But we all know that one or two key pieces can be the difference between a good season and a parade down Figueroa Street. And that's where the Jae Crowder chatter comes in. Straight up, this is a classic championship or bust move that just screams Lakers. It's the kind of gritty, no-nonsense pickup that teams like the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics always seem to make right before they go on a deep playoff run. You've got to admire the mindset. It's not about flashy stats or a huge name, it's about bringing in a guy who knows what it takes, a guy who has been on that stage and isn't afraid of the moment. We've seen it time and time again in the NBA. It's not always the best player who makes the difference, but the one with the most fight, the one who is willing to get their hands dirty. And that, my friends, is Jae Crowder in a nutshell. Let's be real for a second. This is not about Jae Crowder being the star of the show. We've got our stars in Luka and AD. This is about adding a veteran presence, a guy who understands his role and excels at it. Crowder brings that defensive grit and toughness that can swing a playoff series. We've all seen it. He's the guy who gets under the skin of the opponent's best player, the one who takes on the challenge of guarding the other team's toughest forward. This is the NBA equivalent of a bruising linebacker in the NFL, a guy who might not get all the headlines but makes every single snap count. In a tough Western Conference, you need that physicality. You can't win with finesse alone. You need guys who will battle in the paint, fight for every rebound, and make a clutch defensive stop. This is what Crowder provides. He's a veteran who has been to the finals multiple times. He knows the pressure, he knows the stakes. His experience with the Heat and Suns is invaluable. He's seen what it takes to compete at the highest level, and he can be that voice in the locker room, that mentor for the younger players. When you're in a tough, physical playoff game, you want a guy like Jae Crowder on your side. The big question for a lot of fans here in America is whether Crowder still has enough left in the tank. We know his shooting can be a bit streaky, but when he's on, he's a massive threat from three-point range. And even when his shot isn't falling, his impact on the game is still there on the defensive end. He's a guy who can guard multiple positions, which is huge in the modern NBA. We've seen teams get exposed when they don't have versatile defenders. Crowder gives the coaching staff options. He can play the small forward, he can slide up to power forward in small ball lineups, and he can be a crucial part of our playoff rotations. He's a role player, no cap, and that's a role he's embraced his entire career. He's not going to demand the ball or upset the chemistry. He's going to come in, do his job, and be ready to battle every night. This is the kind of signing that makes a locker room better, that brings a championship culture. It's not about individual glory, it's about the team. And that's a fire mindset to have. Another huge factor is the financial aspect. Crowder is a free agent, which means we wouldn't have to give up any assets in a trade. This is a massive win for a team that has already made some big moves and wants to preserve its future flexibility. We could sign him to a team-friendly deal, maybe a minimum contract, and it would be a low-risk, high-reward move. You bring in a proven veteran, a guy who has been through the wars, for a minimal cost. That's just smart front office work. It's the kind of savvy move that can put a contender over the top. It's like adding a veteran reliever in baseball for a playoff push. He might not throw 100 miles per hour anymore, but he knows how to get the crucial out when the game is on the line. Crowder is that guy. He's a grinder. He's a dude who understands the game is about more than just stats on a box score. It's about heart, it's about toughness, and it's about making the right play at the right time. The biggest hurdle for the Lakers, honestly, might be selling Crowder on coming here. He's been in a lot of winning environments, but he's also a guy who wants to feel valued. With Luka and AD, and other key players on the roster, his role would be clearly defined. He wouldn't be a go-to guy. But for a player at his stage of his career, a guy who's been chasing that elusive championship ring, joining a team that has a legitimate shot at the title should be a no-brainer. The chance to play alongside two of the best players in the league, under the bright lights of Los Angeles, is a huge draw. Plus, there's a certain swagger that comes with wearing the purple and gold. He's a player who has always had an edge, and that attitude would fit right in with the Lakers' championship DNA. We need that dog mentality, that guy who isn't afraid of anyone. Crowder is that beast mode player. He's the kind of guy who can make a locker room better just by being there. The idea of Jay Crowder in a Lakers jersey is a fire thought, and it's one that could seriously help us get that next banner. This could be a straight-up game changer.